Let's talk about the current state of the Miami Heat and why they have to make a major trade this offseason. When you look at what happened last year with the Miami Heat, well, technically this season, they did go to the NBA playoffs. They got knocked out in the first round by the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm not going to place all the blame on Pat Riley, and the same with Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in the NBA. In my opinion, he's the best head coach in the NBA. But this is the problem with the Miami Heat from this season. Jimmy Butler won the contract extension. Pat Riley was looking at it from this standpoint. You've dealt with a lot of injuries. Yes, we went to the NBA Finals not once but twice with you being the leader of this team. But you've dealt with injuries just like Tyler Hero, and you're getting older. We're not going to give you a contract extension. So Jimmy Butler said, to hell with everyone. I'm going to make this uncomfortable for Miami. I'm going to make this uncomfortable for myself. He just didn't have the effort. So at the halfway point in the season, at the trade deadline, they traded Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors to bring in Andrew Wiggins. Now, Andrew Wiggins played in 17 games. He didn't look bad. He had a lot of good moments. Andrew Wiggins averaged 20 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists on solid efficiency. But we know what Andrew Wiggins is in his career. He's a solid player, but he'll never be a number 1 option. On the Golden State Warriors, he was a very good number 2 to number 3 option at times. That's his role. In the current state of the Miami Heat, they need a true scorer that can go out there and elevate the game with Bam Adebayo, and the same with Tyler Hero. And they're not going to move off of Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero in the future to bring in a name like Kevin Durant. So I look at someone like Andrew Wiggins, who missed time with the Miami Heat. He's missed time in the past with the Golden State Warriors, dealing with things off the court, and hopefully everything's okay with him and his family. By looking at Andrew Wiggins, he's not going to be here long term. Even if they don't go out there and bring in a name like Kevin Durant, they'll still potentially move on from Andrew Wiggins, and the same with Duncan Robinson and Terry Rozier. It's kind of phenomenal to see that this team went to the play-in tournament and went to the NBA playoffs against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, in the first round, they got swept. It was terrible. It was a 122-point differential in this series. They lost the last game by 55 points, and they've lost their last 7 playoff games straight. That's not the Miami Heat standard. That's not Heat culture. The one thing with Pat Riley, he hates to be embarrassed, and that is what happened to the Miami Heat in the postseason this year, going against the Cavaliers. And there's no shame in losing to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. They're one of the best teams in the regular season, but it's the way that you lost. Tyler Hero had good moments. He had a lot of terrible moments. We saw what happened with Bam Adebayo. Overall, they shouldn't have been in this spot to begin with, because of the simple standpoint that you traded your best player at the midway point of the season, at the trade deadline. And you're trying to go out there and build with pieces like Davion Mitchell, the same with Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero. You're trying to piece all those pieces together. And even over the course of this offseason, they went out there and they made a brand new offensive system tailored around Tyler Hero. Jimmy Butler had problems with that as well. Jimmy Butler was no longer the number 1 option on most nights. It became Tyler Hero, and it did work out into their favor early on. But overall, Jimmy Butler, he won it out. He got a contract extension with the Golden State Warriors. The reason why I say the Miami Heat have to make a major trade here in the offseason, even though the Eastern Conference is the weaker conference out of the East and the West, you look at the teams in the Eastern Conference right now. I look at the Orlando Magic. They just made a trade to bring in Desmond Bane. I would say that the Orlando Magic right now, they're a better team than the Miami Heat at their current roster and where we stand today. I look at the Detroit Pistons with Cade Cunningham and the young pieces that they have. You can make the case that they're better than the Heat. The Milwaukee Bucks, they were the 5th seed this year. Now, Dame's going to miss majority, if not all, of next season, dealing with Achilles injury. We'll see if they bring back Giannis. Giannis is still one of the best players in basketball. You can say that the Bucks are better than them. The same with the Pacers. They're in the NBA Finals right now. The New York Knicks, the Boston Celtics, and the Cavaliers. Right now, they just have better roster construction than the Miami Heat. You can't go out there and compete with those elite level teams with talent like Tyler Hero, Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, and Khalil Ware. Now, the biggest rumor right now for the Miami Heat would be KD. Kevin Durant came out over 2 weeks ago, and he said that he's willing to be traded. For the ones that don't know, the Phoenix Suns, they're in hell right now with the Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and KD situation. Most of it is due to the fact that Bradley Beal doesn't want to be traded. He has one of the worst contracts in the NBA, and he has a no-trade clause. They could easily move off of Bradley Beal if he didn't have the no-trade clause. That just opens up everything that's wrong right now with the Phoenix Suns. So they don't have a choice but to move on from Kevin Durant. But Kevin Durant came out and he said that he's willing to sign a long-term extension with the following 3 teams: San Antonio Spurs, Houston Rockets, Miami Heat. The Houston Rockets reportedly have already made an offer to the Phoenix Suns, the same with the Miami Heat. What's holding everything up right now is that the Phoenix Suns, they want a center back in this deal. The Miami Heat have been looking for a center for a very long time to play alongside Bam. And I know that a lot of Heat fans will say, well, Bam is a center. He's not. And I love Bam on the defensive end. He's one of the best defensive players in basketball. He can guard point guards all the way through the center position on certain centers. Against Jokic and Anthony Davis, I wouldn't have him out there against those centers with consistent minutes because he is smaller. Bam is 6'9". That's a small center in today's NBA when you are going against 7-footers. This is how it is. And Bam is not a very good offensive player in terms of going out there and finding his shot and getting to the rim on a consistent basis. We've seen him look away against the rim. That's what happened against the Boston Celtics in the past when they had Robert Williams many years ago, and the same with Al Horford. And we just saw this year in the postseason against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have two skyscrapers, Jared Allen and the same with Evan Mobley. It was hard for Bam to go out there and find his shot close to the rim. And he's not a good three-point shooter either. And he's not going to shoot that many mid-range shots. Bam will have his moments to where he'll go out for 30 points in a game. Then the next night, he may only score 15 points. That's who Bam is. He's a great defender on the offensive end. He's okay. He's in that spot right now where he may average 18 to 20 points a season. And I don't want you guys to get this twisted here. Bam is a good player. He's the best player in the Miami Heat right now in terms of offense and defense, but his offensive game is just not good enough to lead this team to where they want to be. But you don't move off of Bam. You have Khalil Ware, first-round pick for a reason. He had a very good rookie season. When they gave him consistent minutes, he was a top rookie this year. Of excellent defender towards the rim in terms of rim protection, going out there and finding his shot from three. He shot 31% from the three this year. He was able to get to the rim on a consistent basis because he is 7 foot. I don't think the Miami Heat should trade Khalil Ware in a package to bring in Kevin Durant. And I know that's crazy to say that you would take Kevin Durant right now over Khalil Ware. Most people would. But Kevin Durant's going to be 37 years old sooner than later. And he suffered a Achilles injury many years ago with the Golden State Warriors. He hasn't been the same player in terms of going and finishing at the rim on a consistent rate. He's still one of the best scorers in the game. He shot 41% from the three ball this year. The efficiency is definitely there. He is still one of the best players to have in the NBA. But how much longer is he going to play? Khalil Ware could play for the next 10 to 12 years. Kevin Durant may only play for the next 3 to 4 years at the most. And I look at it from this standpoint. If I'm the Miami Heat, I'll tell the Phoenix Suns, hey, look, you're in the second apron already. That's salary cap hell in the NBA. Not only just that, this man has 1 year left on his deal, and we have to give him a contract extension. I'll throw in a first-round pick, and I'll throw in a player like Andrew Wiggins, and the same with Duncan Robinson, and maybe Jaime Jaquez. And then you talk to the Brooklyn Nets and see if you can make this a 3-team trade to where they'll possibly bring in Nick Claxton, and he can go to the Phoenix Suns and work out a deal in that way. But if I'm the Miami Heat right now, I'm standing pat. I'm not trading Khalil Ware in this deal. I just won't be able to. He is going to be a central building block for this team for many years to come. And hey, maybe in the future, he won't be this great starting center. But we know what he can be right now in his rookie year. And we've seen Coach Spo go out there in the past and develop players. He's developed Tyler Hero. The same with Bam Adebayo. This is the same head coach that got the most out of Gabe Vincent, and the same with Kendrick Nunn in the NBA playoffs. They performed so well in this system, they got big time deals from the Los Angeles Lakers, and look at how they look now. Gabe Vincent has not been a good player with the Los Angeles Lakers. Kendrick Nunn did little to nothing with the Lakers at the guard position. It has been hard for the Miami Heat to go out there and find a consistent center, and it seems like they've done that right now. And if they can't bring in a name like Kevin Durant, they may go out there and they may bring in someone like DeMar DeRozan. You could easily go out there and trade Terry Rozier. They're looking for a point guard. And Sacramento, it's crazy that team is looking for a point guard when they basically passed on Luka. You had Tyrese Halliburton and you had De'Aaron Fox, and you traded both of those point guards. You can move on from Terry Rozier, and let's just be honest here. Terry Rozier has not been a good point guard with the Miami Heat. And that's still another issue that the Miami Heat have. They had Tyler Hero running the point guard position. He was solid. He had a career year this year in terms of efficiency from the three, field goal percentage, points per game. But Tyler Hero is better as a number 2 guard. You still need a main facilitator. They haven't had a consistent point guard that can go out there and run their offense since Goran Dragic many years ago. I know they signed Kyle Lowry, but he was behind his prime. He was dealing with injuries, and he wasn't the same player. You still had to figure out that position. So if you give up those draft resources, you give up those young players like a Jaime Jaquez, the same with Nikola Jovic, you still need to figure out the point guard position. And you may not have enough ammunition in the future to go out there and bring in a point guard. You may look at a starting lineup that may have Kevin Durant, Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero, Davion Mitchell. You still don't have that true facilitating guard that can get everyone on the same page and set up your offense. And that's essential in the NBA. Look at what happened this year in the postseason. All the elite teams, they had a very good point guard. And right now, the Miami Heat, they don't have that facilitator. Now, Davion Mitchell, I wouldn't trade him either. He's an amazing defender. 8 points a game, 5 assists, shot 47% from the field. On the offensive end, he's rough around the edges. But that defense, man, is special. Look at the work that he did against Trae Young in the play-in game. He was phenomenal defensively all the way through. That's been his calling card since he was first drafted in the NBA, and he fits the Heat culture. Just a scrappy guard to have in the backcourt. I do think that they will trade for Kevin Durant, but you have to make sure that you keep Khalil Ware on this team long term. And I look at someone like Jaime Jaquez, had a very good rookie season, but his sophomore year, he dipped down. This man averaged 11 points a game his rookie season, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Sophomore year, the minutes, they dipped as well. He was playing 28 minutes his rookie year. Sophomore year, 20 minutes a game, 8 points a game, 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists. And the efficiency took a dip. You can say that he went through a sophomore slump, but we look at Jaime Jaquez. He's not a young player considering where he was selected in the NBA draft and considering that he's entering year 3. He's already 24 years old. Usually with players like this, you'll say, you know what, he's 21, maybe he's 22, we can still develop him. He's 24 years old. I think he is who he is at this point in time. Was a very good player at UCLA, but I think that he'll just be a solid role player moving forward. I look at Nikola Jovic. He's able to come off the bench. He's able to give you good production, but he's not going to move the needle. Kevin Durant can do that for you. So if you have to give up Khalil Ware in a trade to bring in Kevin Durant, I wouldn't do it. You go out there, you pivot, you move on from Andrew Wiggins, you move on from Terry Rozier, you move on from Duncan Robinson, and then you bring in someone like DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan does not make you a championship contender the same way that Kevin Durant could, but you have more ammunition to build a better team around DeMar DeRozan. And when we look at the current state of the NBA today, the one thing that you don't want to do, especially with someone like Kevin Durant, like I mentioned before, this man's going to be 37 years old. You don't want to just go all in on an aging superstar that has an injury history like Kevin Durant. He would be a phenomenal player to have on this team, don't get me wrong. But the Miami Heat, they don't have the assets and they don't have the resources like the Houston Rockets and the same with the San Antonio Spurs. And if Kevin Durant was a free agent, you go out there and give him all the money possible, but he's not a free agent. That's the tricky part here. And if you are a Suns fan, Kevin Durant has placed the Phoenix Suns into a tough situation here. The Suns, they want to get the most out of this trade. They still want to build around Devin Booker and potentially move on from Bradley Beal in the future. But considering the fact that he leaked this out to ESPN, he leaked this out to CBS, he's letting it be known, if you don't trade me to one of these 3 teams, I'm not signing a contract extension. Which makes a lot of other teams around the NBA hesitant to trade for Kevin Durant. The New York Knicks, they're out on him. They said, we don't want you to come to New York. You had your chance. You had your opportunity. The Timberwolves, a report came out over a week ago that they had heavy interest in Kevin Durant, pairing him up with Anthony Edwards. Kevin Durant comes out through his agent and said that he does not want to play with the Timberwolves and that he's not going to sign a contract extension with them. Now you have to be careful with this news as well. We saw what happened with Jimmy Butler. He tried to force his way to the Phoenix Suns. The Miami Heat said, hell no. You're going to go to the Golden State Warriors whether you like it or not. He said, okay, you know what? I give up. And he signed that contract extension with the Golden State Warriors. So anything can happen. And if you think the biggest fish right now is Kevin Durant to bring in, I would question that. The NBA has been so weird since the Luka trade. We don't know who is unhappy because a lot of these deals, they're being hush-hush right now. Look at the Desmond Bane trade with the Orlando Magic. No one saw that coming. So maybe the Heat, they go out there. If they miss on Kevin Durant, they could possibly bring in another player that's a superstar. But right now with the Heat, They're in a very interesting situation. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Should the Miami Heat be all in on Kevin Durant, even if that does mean trading your young center and Khalil Ware? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless. Peace.